best in sports entertainment. We're here live on Empowerment USA. I got my guy One Punch. He's trying to get up out of here. I got one more question for him because we just seen you in the ring recently after being off for a while. You stay in the gym though, you know, but you was in the ring just recently in the exhibition versus Greg Hackett, my guy Greg Hackett, and you guys put on a show for Philadelphia and people around the world to kind of chime in and tune in. But the thing that I was impressed with is the fact of the matter that you still able to get in the ring.
Yes.
That y'all are able to get in the ring and still be very, very competitive after not being in the ring for a while and things of that nature. Please explain to the viewers and people out there that whole experience and what it was like from the beginning to the end and so forth and so on.
Well, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was a piece for me. Here it is. Here's the thing. This was my why. My why was my portion was going to charity, number one, and to show the young generations that we can put down the guns and pick up the gloves, and we can really show the next generation this is how you do it. If I got a disagreement or a beef, we can get it off our chest and we can turn around and be businessmen and go on with our life just like the old times. So that was my why, right?
Okay.
That was the first portion. The second portion was to show the older generations that we can still do it. Greg was much younger than me. He's active in the gym. He's a great trainer. He's a great boxer. And I wanted to really show that, listen, man, I'm traveling all around the world, but hey, I got a different pedigree. I can come right off the couch and, us older guys ain't nothing to play with. So, I set out and I did that.
So let me ask you a question. So you and Greg Hackett, you guys have, a name, Philadelphia and also around the world. From you Mr. Everywhere, and Greg Hackett, he's been in the media for a lot of different things, and he's really popular. How did that fight come about? What made that you guys come together and say, hey, let's fight?
Actually, we was out on ringside at Boots fight, Gerard Boots Ennis, right? His last outing, right? Ringside, and Gillian Wallow was there, and they said, we got somebody for you, and because I initially, spoke to them and I was like, listen, bring me on to be a commentator or I want to fight. He said, oh, Punch, you know what I mean? You're a pro. We ain't got nobody for you, man. No. So I guess they wished that idea around and they said, you know what? We got the exact person. And they called Greg, and it was like, nah, Greg ain't gonna take this fight, man. You know what I mean? He know I'm different. You good, but I'm a little elite, right? So he's like, nah, Punch, this is all right for the culture. And we shook on it right then and there.
Wow.
So a lot of people thought, actually, they said, nah, Punch, Punch him. He's going already, meaning I travel, I do a lot of different things, charity and everything. It's like, ain't no way in the world Punch gonna come and do this fight. You know what I mean? He's traveling, he's going already. Yeah. So they initially thought, no, I wasn't gonna do it. And I was, in motion, traveling and doing a lot of things, right? But I thought about it and said, no, man, it's for the culture, man. I came back and did it.
So let me ask you a question. So also, like you mentioned, you said that people were saying you weren't going to do it, but there was a time where there was it was up in the air saying, hey, this fight is not going to happen, and there's so many fingers pointed this way, fingers pointed that way. What was the reason, or what was the holdup, or if there was a holdup in the negotiations for y'all to have that fight at that time?
So initially, we agreed on one particular percentage, right? And I spoke to him as a businessman, because outside of being One Punch, a fighter is about business, right? Okay. And my portion, like I said, was going to charity, right? So, I already knew in my mind this is what this was for. So my why was different. It was for, abused kids and kids that lost their parents to victims of gun violence, right? And so I had a, homeless shelter, and I told them, around the holidays I was coming to bring toys and sneakers and jackets and stuff to these people, and they was excited. And, based upon this, right? So we agreed on this number, and then, naturally, Gil hit me and was like, yo, Punch, look, we kind of over budget. Can we do this? And I'm like, bro, listen, I sold this in terms of the tickets already, right? And so when we first came about, I'm just doing the business part. I'm like, listen, is it a code that we're using, and do I get a percentage in the ticket sales? How's the money going to be transferred? He's, oh man, we just doing this straight. And I'm basically saying, look, man, like, let's turn the hustle down. Let's really talk as businessmen. And so I wasn't really being disrespectful. I'm talking about business, right? So how boxing, it's not like I'm the fighter. I understand business. I wasn't coming over there disrespecting they project and what they had going on, but we were speaking in terms of business. So I wasn't infringing on your lane of being a podcaster or an artist. I would never come to your event or book you for an event and tell you, hey, you know, we agreed on a number, and then come back and say, hey, I got this, right? Now, if it was us as friends, you say, look, Punch, I'm a little, you know, things went a different way. Look, can you take this? But I'm like, Lav, we can't do that because I already made agreement with these kids and they already there. So my why was different. And the purse was already sold on my end in terms of the ticket sales because all my fans bought Floyd seats. So what are we having a disagreement on finances if it's already sold already on my half, right? If I didn't generate, then we can always look at it as terms of, man, you didn't even pull this in as far as the gate, but that wasn't the case whatsoever. My gate was already sold. I had the screenshots of how many tickets were sold. I bought that already. So what are we talking about? So he was seeing that, and he said, listen, I'll call you back. Because he knew I knew business, right? Cool, that was the business
Who
thing.
you referred to?
Yeah, Gilly,
okay.
you know, me and him is having a conversation.
Okay.
He said, let me take it back to Wallow. And, you know, then he called back, you know, sometime later because they was overseas, you know, doing another engagement. When he calls back, he's like, basically, you know, look, just you gonna take this or what? This is what it is. And my position of it is, bro, listen, this is business. Like, we're friends outside of that, and there's no disrespect, but I can't do that because this is what we doing. So they made agreement like, look, we want to take you off this thing. You know, we're going a different way. Cool. I don't have a problem with going a different way, but what do you want to tell all those women that got their hair done, paid for babysitters, you know, and got outfits to come to this event and they bought tickets? They're going to spam your page, not mine. I'm doing my job. So you can take me off, but fine. But I don't think they understood that portion of it. I continue to keep training, and then I think he came to life, and some other people talked to him, and then he came back and was like, look, all right, well, we don't agree to put Punch on the show, but we're not going to do anything as far as any other leverage or a favor. Cool, I understand that it's a tough business, won't have that, but then that's when my, you know, my support system, you know, Joe Ross, Philadelphia Freeway, Jack Frost, all of them, you know, they had a conversation. We all was on the phone with Greg, and they like, listen, man, we don't, you know, and it was right around Christmas time, and I'm like, listen, listen, this is for charity. My portion is for charity, and these are there. And they was like, look, Punch, we don't celebrate Christmas, but here's my half. I'm supporting you. Jack Frost, here's my half. I'm supporting you. Joe Ross, I'm supporting you. So the purse was already there, and we got this extra. And now, you know, you got any objection, Gil? No, he can't say nothing. He like, all right, look, I don't got no give for Punch. No, we got it. And the show went on.
So, you know, speaking about, you know, the fight and everything that transpired, let's get to the event, because as we know, Gilly and Wallow have they have a massive platform. They have a lot of things going on, you know, wish them the best to continue doing what they're doing. I see that I wasn't there. I couldn't make the event. I had other engagements, but I hear that the event was a major event. A lot of people from the city was there, Jersey, New York, you know, Philadelphia, just Delaware. That event alone, and you being in that position of being in the ring again, how did you feel walking back into the ring? Just being
It's
in
a
that
beautiful feeling, man. It was really good. And that was one of the reasons why I agreed upon doing it, because it showed the younger generation, hey, you know, they know me as One Punch, but then we missed a generation where they didn't get a chance to see me fight. They hear about it, but they don't know me, you know, so this young generation got a chance to really see, and they like, oh, he's everything he, you know, we heard him to be, you know, so like, you know, they like, oh, he still can fight. So, I mean, like, you know, and rightfully so, it was a good showing. I thought it could be better, and I'll tell you why. Because, you know, when you bring in everybody together, that was another reason why that I agreed upon doing this, because they have a big platform, but I got a big platform as well. So it ain't no big men, big Y's, little U's. No, we all came together as businessmen, and I really wanted to push this culture forward. Unfortunately, some egos got bruised and some things got kind of pushed around, and it was a miscommunication. But as men, we was able to pull it back together. My position again was, you know, hey, this is the reason why I got to stand on this. I think Gil's position was, no, I don't understand that. But my position to him was, bro, your main position of who you are, your platform, where you stood at, you know, Jay-Z offered you a career, you know, to join Rockefeller. You know, you stood on principle of, boom, no, I can't take this money, you know, to sign this whole group. You know, Lil Wayne and Baby offered you this position and saying, yo, stand on this business. And no, I can't do this based on that. So why would you come back to me and say, you look, take this, the same thing that they did to you and what you stood on. You can't get mad at me standing on this principle of doing that, because your whole principle, your base of who you are has been standing on business.
Let me ask you a question, though. Let me ask you a question, because, you know, like you said, Gilly and Wallow, they put together the actual event, and they have the ability to, like I said, generate, just a lot of attention, a lot of buzz, and also generate a lot of money. That's, you know, to be clear,
yes,
in regards to these type of events. So now you're on this event, opportunity to actually, you know, mix your platform in with their platform.
Sure.
Get some eyes and things of that nature on you, some eyes you may not have, because as we know, they are a worldwide
yes,
brand. So outside of that, the benefit of that, you get the benefit of being on their platform, getting more eyes on your platform. Now, fast forward, you got Greg Hackett, you know, as your opponent. What's your thoughts on the actual overall fight, on the skills of Greg Hackett that he portrayed in that fight that night?
Well, like I said, Greg has been active. He had just had a professional fight, you know, some months back, and then before that, he fought a skillful, veteran, Dafir Smith, right before that, and he's in the gym with Jerron Boots Ennis and a lot of, you know, Jesse Hart and a lot of great fighters every day, daily. He lives in the gym. I own a gym, but I don't go to the gym every day because I'm traveling and taking care of business all over the world. So I own a gym, I'm an owner and operator, but I'm not in there training every day, working with the kids, wiping off sweat and none of that. I don't have no ambition to do that, right? I only solely in terms of running the business, right? I come there and train occasionally, but outside of that, no. But Greg's in the gym. He lives in the gym. He's a equivalent of a gym rat, right? Yeah. So, I mean, you know, he's Shredder, a Master Splinter, all in one, right? But aside from that, he's a masterful boxer. He's a good boxer. I don't take nothing away from it. I know he was geared. I know he was gritty. He was going to come. And he sold it the way he wanted to. But outside of, in terms of skill, that hot shot shit wasn't working, man. He came with it. He brought it. But I didn't think he really pulled the nudge out. I mean, at best, right, I could have seen a draw. But that makes room for a masterful, sequel a rematch. You know, everybody felt the same way. The whole city, everybody that was watching, they felt like, yo, man, like he didn't do what he wanted to do with me, right? And I just came off the couch with it, man. And where we from, you know, listen, man, you should have popped me and got me good. Where we from is understood. So if you put me out, like, listen, I understood it, man. That's where I come from. I understand. And we come from Philly where all these people, everybody can fight, right? So, you know, I got a fly mouthpiece. They know, you know, he talking, but can he walk it? And I just showed that, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, the fight, like you said, you mentioned, you know, I don't know if you mentioned about, I believe I heard you mention that the fight that you didn't get the nod on the fight ended up, you know, going the way to G Hackett. The judges picked him to win the fight.
3 blind mice, man. 3 blind mice. That's. But see, you know what?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So
where's the cheese at?
So the judges picked G to win the fight, and then, you know, after the fight, now you're saying that you would like to do like a rematch sequel, just to run it back, just because you didn't agree. You thought it should have been a draw.
The streets didn't agree with it, man. They ain't sit well. They ain't nobody talk about that fight or anything. They said it was a good showing of masterful skills, right? And I don't take anything away from, you know, Greg Hackett. You know, he brought it, right? The people want to see it, you know, and on me, I'll take it. My name is One Punch. I saw the shot, you know, and shit, you know, we was on the knockout party, you know, closed the show. And, you know, on my behalf, I want to say that, you know, I thought I was going a little later, right? I didn't know in terms of the lineup. I was out, you know, mingling with the crowd. I'm VIP moving around. It's funny, one of the guys was like, Punch, you fighting? I'm sitting there having a conversation. And I'm like, yeah, you fight. He said, man, Punch ain't fighting. He playing games. He up here with us, right? And my phone start going off. And it's my brother and them in the background. And they like, yo, man, I think, you know, the people is calling you. So we run back there. And they like, man, Punch, you up next. I said, what? So one is put my gloves on. Somebody put my shoes on. And we ain't even warm up. Like, you know, so I came off the couch with it. That's the true E Hollywood story. Time the bottom of the second come, you know, I'm warmed up and we already in a fight, you know. So had I warmed up and properly and everything, I cooked him, you know what I mean? Cooked food.
So even, I'm gonna cut you off, but even in the outcome of the fight not going your way. Right. After the fight, you know what I mean, the praises, you know, the congratulations, you guys have actually opened a door that you may not know, even because you can't always look at it, you know, a loss as a negative thing, because now you guys are shining light and you guys have opened a door for other fighters such as like yourself that haven't been in the ring in a while to want to get back in the ring.
Yes.
And possibly put some money in their pocket.
Yeah, for real.
And you can see G, he's going on fighting, still fighting, got a fight coming up.
Yeah, he got a big fight, you know, with you know, Brian Norman,
Senior,
you know,
right?
senior, yeah, on Black Prime. Hopefully we get on the undercard of that or the winner. And I'm gonna put this out there, you know, Black Prime reached out to me, Zab Judah and all them, and if he gets past that, then probably we'll be on the undercard of the return of Devin Haney in March the 25th on Black Prime.
Wow, that's
so, and before that, I'm over in the Bahamas fighting for another championship over there on celebrity boxing, know, on an undercard of Kimball Slice Jr. So I'm working, he's working, so hopefully we'll meet in the middle. And you're right, it makes, you know, another lane for a lot of fighters that hasn't been in there. I haven't been in there in over a decade, you know, actively. And so to do this is an outstanding showing. I appreciate Gilly and Wallow and them for even thinking about me and invite me onto the platform. And aside from business, we're still friends. It's still love. And I mean, you know, we going to agree to disagree and stand on business and move right along. Outside of that, they're my guys. We hug and, you know, I seen his wife right after that. And I said, listen, Tupac, I said, listen, outside of that, you my homegirl. I got love for you. And I got love for your husband. I don't want you to think that, you know, disagreement as men the love stops. You know what I mean? She hugged me and we went right on and laughed.
Yeah.
I said, you know, he's crazy, and we went on about our business.
Yeah, so you know, yeah, so we off from the
As
street.
men, as men, we going to disagree.
We gotta continue to support one another, no matter if there is a disagreement. But I'm glad that y'all was able to even put on such an event. And like I said, you have opportunities to go on and do more events. You just mentioned that you're going to be on a major card, possibly, which is Devin Haney. I don't think it really gets even no bigger than that. He's going to return. People want to see how he looks in his return. So we'll see what happens. Man, anything else you want to add, Punch?
And aside from that, right, and you touched on something really important. Me and Greg just kind of sat down, right, to do this rematch contract, and we're going to do, you know, some tours, right, to go and show the new generation, hey, listen, you have a disagreement, and we were sitting right next to each other, talking and having fun, right, and viewing the fight. To show this new generation, we can actually put down these guns and pick up the gloves and go on just like the old days. You know, we got a disagreement, we got off what we said on our chest, and it's just entertainment, but we got love for one another. Ain't no problem. You know, we gonna make this happen. So it was a method in the madness, and some good came out of that, right? Yeah. And the teaching moment for me was the fact of, you know, regardless of what, right, it was, you know, the redemption, right, for me of, hey, look, we can fight, and whatever the situation is, you know, you can go on. But since then, it's almost like a Ali and Smoking Joe, you know, mirror, because, you know, when Smoking Joe beat Muhammad Ali, you know, the first time, right, you know, nobody really talks about that fight because Ali was the people champion. I'm still the people champion. And that's something that Smoking Joe Frazier dealt with for money. We talk about this mental health piece. When he beat Muhammad Ali, he didn't get that fan favorite love. He was the champ. Yeah, you were the champ, but that's Muhammad Ali. And he dealt with that depression because he was like, yo, why y'all not receiving me the same way they receive him? So depression can actually come in a win as well, and always have to be a loss. It can be in a win. At your highest moment, you can suffer from. Yeah, you ain't beat punched the way we saw it. You ain't beat punched that way, so he's dealing with that. And I'm like, nah, he's good. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it, and it's fun, so we can come back for this, you know, part two. So I want to see it again. So, you know, hopefully, you know, y'all can come together with Prime, something. You know what I mean? Netflix, all of them is really talking, man. Maybe we might get it over there to Zone. I'm gonna send a copy over there to the Sheik. You know what I mean? And see if we can get on one of them big cards and take it right there. Who knows, man? Hey, listen, Jake Paul, I'm right here, man. You seeing it live, man. I'm telling you, as soon as I get past this bum, Greg Hackett, I want you. You know what I mean? And whoever else out there, Brian Norman, I want you. Whoever else is out there, you see me, Chad Ochocinco, I want you. I'm calling you out. I'm coming. I'm not going to just call you names. I'm coming. So I wanted Conor McGregor, you know, I wanted Jake Paul, I wanted Chad Ochocinco, whoever else that's out there and they see this opportunity, come on with it. I want it.
You heard it here first. One punch. It's TBISE, the best in sports entertainment.
Everywhere. Let's go.
If you need around-the-clock care, call Medicare LLC. We are concerned about your care. We are concerned about the care for your loved one. Please allow us to help. I look forward to hearing from you. Call us today.